Hey, Will Zimmer with the RIT Realty team from Connect Realty. Thanks for signing up for my free seller strategy video. My goal is just to really help you understand the current real estate market. By doing so, we're going to answer several questions like, is now a good time to sell my home? Are we in a buyer's market or seller's market? How does this affect the sale of my home? What's the process of selling my home? How do I get top dollar? How do I line up buying and selling? And how do I select the best sales agent? A little bit about me before we begin. I've got 16 years in the fire EMS 911 dispatch services. I got my EMTB in 2008, my bachelor's degree in practical ministry in 2020. I got my real estate license in 2020 as well, making the transition. I'm also passionate about helping people start or grow their business, as well as building generational wealth. My team around me, my brokers, my lenders, my title companies, inspectors, all of them have decades of service in the industry, and they love to support our veterans, first responders in our community. They're all dedicated to the best clients experience possible. My mission, vision, and core values. My mission is to raise up and develop forward-thinking leaders through life, business, and ministry. My vision is to help see others realize their dreams. And my core values are expressed through the acronym BUILD. You want to be the change you want to see in the world. Always utilize creativity. Define your intentions before beginning. Lead with honor and integrity as a servant, and develop relationships with those around you. So let's look at the current real estate market. We know that houses are no longer flying off the market the day or the hour that they list. They're no longer selling for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over list price. Buyers are no longer waiving every contingency. And cash buyers and investors are drying up, and they're really back to offering significantly less than what houses actually listed as. Houses are still maintaining their value. They're still receiving multiple offers in the right conditions, and the values are trending upwards. Values right now are kind of pulling back, and they're kind of bouncing, but they are maintaining, and they will trend upwards over the next few years. So is now a good time to sell? Well, it really depends on your plan and your motivation. Determining the right plan and motivation will allow you to set clear, attainable goals, and then measure the effectiveness of your plan against those goals and be able to adapt accordingly. As your goal to receive multiple cash offers well above list price, I always tell people that the opportunity of a lifetime needs to be seized within the lifetime of that opportunity. And if you're expecting the same results as the past few years, we've moved into a new market. While it is still likely to see multiple offers, really depends on the property and the price presentation and promotion strategy of that property. As your goal to capitalize on the elevated values created by the past few years and then roll that equity into another home, pay off debts, invest in something, or pursue other endeavors, it's actually a perfect time. Like I said, values will continue to trend upwards, so you really won't miss out if you do decide to wait a year, 2 years. But now would be a great time to take advantage of it. It's a significant life change requiring a quick relocation. Some of the common reasons that people move are diapers, diamonds, diploma, divorce, death, and distress. If any of those match your current situation, it's probably a good time to sell. So let's look and see if we're in a buyer's market or seller's market. Seller's market is when demand exceeds supply, typically less than 3 months of inventory. Homes tend to sell more quickly. Homes receive multiple offers. There's less seller concessions offered. A buyer's market is when supply exceeds demand. It's typically greater than 6 months of inventory. Homes tend to sell more slowly. They spend more days on the market. They typically receive fewer offers, if any. Some even actually go expired. Typically more seller concessions are given just to make the deal happen. A neutral market is between 4 to 5 months. It's anywhere in between the buyer's market and seller's market. Typically, they share some characteristics of both, but they tend to lean more towards a buyer's market. I do believe that there's a lot more details to analyze than just the months of inventory, which is typically used. So let's look at the previous market. That way we can better understand the market that we're in and try to better create a definition of where we're at. Previous market, interest rates dropped into the twos. That created an explosion of buyers and investors who took advantage of cheap money. Sellers began to hold off for fear of securing their next home. A lot of them even said, I'd love to move. I can't afford to spend the extra money, or I don't know if I'm going to get another home. I know my house will sell. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to buy another one. So inventory really began to shrink. New construction also began struggling because of the elevated prices in building materials and shortages of supplies and numerous other difficulties that it created. The supply actually dwindled down to a month or less of inventory. I think the lowest we saw was like zero point 0.7 in the DFW area in Tarrant County. The rule of supply and demand, prices just skyrocketed. The Federal Reserve actually moved in an effort to curb inflation in the housing and the rest of the market. They quickly raised interest rates, and it really started limiting the buyer pool. And the market began to cool down really rapidly. Months of inventory has actually doubled in the past year. We're actually up to about 2.2 months worth of inventory in Tarrant County. Less houses right now are being listed for sale. The ones that are actually staying on the market longer. Less buyers have access to funds just because of their interest rates are a lot higher. And in my opinion, there's just not enough buyers on the current market. And we're actually producing a neutral to buyer's market, although the months of inventory actually hint at a seller's market. But why that really doesn't matter to you if you're a current homeowner. I'll give you 4 reasons why the buyers and sellers market doesn't matter to a current homeowner. Number 1 is you already own a home. You're going to have to sell and buy in the same market regardless. You're not going to be able to sell in a seller's market and buy in a buyer's market. Although that's typically the goal, it's just not going to happen because you're going to have to sell in one market. You're not going to be able to sell and buy. You're transferring the equity into your next home. And if you wait for the prices to fall to be able to buy in a buyer's market, you're going to lose the equity that's in your current home during a seller's market. So most people will likely upsize their home, and purchasing a higher valued home will likely result in quicker appreciation. That'll likely offset the cost of having to buy your next home in a seller's market, but it'll just happen over time. Number 4, the life doesn't wait for the market to turn. If any of your reasons for moving or one of the 6 from previous, life doesn't wait. You got to move when you got to move. So how do I get top dollar for my home? It really requires attention to detail in 3 key areas: your price, your presentation, and your promotion. So as far as your price, it's very crucial to set your price at a current market value, or at least a perceived market value. Overpricing by as little as 5% over the perceived market value deters 50% of the potential buyers for that specific home. So it's very crucial that you actually price right and you price within the market. So your presentation, your home really must be sold online first. With Zillow, Realtor.com, the syndicate websites, about 95% of our buyers are actually starting their search online. And if your price isn't right, your presentation isn't right, the pictures don't look good, they're likely to skip over the home and go find one that does. So your presentation and being sold online first is really going to be key. That's going to happen along with price. Allowing your buyers to see themselves in the home will actually help quite tremendously, just because they're able to envision, I put this here, I put that there, neutral colors, bright and open. It'll all help sell the home, and it'll help them to actually see themselves and envision themselves in the home. So the promotion is equally as important as the price and the presentation. You really got to understand, how will my home be marketed? Will there be a detailed plan in place? How will it maximize the audience of my home? How will it bring the most attention to my home to get people to come in, tour the home, make an offer? So you really got to have all 3, price, presentation, and promotion, working together to produce the most amount of attention and to get the highest dollar for your home. So what's the process of selling my home? Obviously, step 1 is going to be determining the plan and the motivation. Be able to set goals, be able to measure those goals, be able to adapt accordingly. You really need to set your motivation and your plan in place first. You're going to determine the purchase area and the wants and needs, if applicable. Meeting with a real estate agent This is going to be key because you're going to find out the price, presentation, and promotion strategy for your specific home, and it really needs to be tailored for your home. It can't be just a blanket policy. Preparing your home for photography, videography, and sale. You're going to want to declutter. You're going to want to make it all look pretty. Again, price, presentation, promotion. And then you're going to list the home for sale. You're going to go through showings. You're going to go through offers and negotiations. You're going to execute on a contract. You're going to do due diligence, option period, all of that. At the same time, you need to be deciding on and extending an offer to the purchase home. Again, same thing, option periods, due diligence, renegotiations, concessions. And you're going to be running on both homes at the same time. You're going to go through final details once everything's pretty much settled. And finally, you're going to close and fund and transfer ownership on both homes. But how do I line up buying and selling at the same time? There's a few things that we can do to try to help smooth the transition. I'm going to negotiate a short-term leaseback after closing. This is where you stay in your home and you lease back for typically 1 to 3, maybe 7 days. And it allows you to close on the new home, move all of your stuff, and really have a smoother transition. But it does have its risks because a lot of people that want to buy, they want to move in now. So it does have its risks, but it is available. You can also negotiate a short-term lease prior to closing on the new property. If it's vacant, if the people will already have to be able to move out or allow you to, you can negotiate a short-term lease back prior to closing on the new. Basically, go ahead and move your stuff. You'll close on the old property. Everything will go back to normal, and it's just like you've lived there the whole time. Creative financing and programs that allow you to purchase before you sell. There are ways. Open Door, Orchard, Ribbon's got a plan. They allow you to essentially submit a cash offer on the new home, close on yours, and then it refinances to a regular mortgage once you close. Or there's other things like a bridge loan. There's just a lot of creative financing that can make the deal possible. Each one has their own risks. Biggest thing is going to be talking to your lender to make sure that everything works for you. But there are multiple options that we can actually use. So how do I select the best sales agent for me? Biggest thing you're going to want to find out is, does this agent care about me? And can I trust them? Those are probably your two biggest, other than the price, presentation, or promotion. You just really want to find out, hey, does they care about me? Can I trust them? You want to look at, does the agent clearly understand my plan and my goals? And can he tailor a strategy to help me achieve them? And can he also help me understand realistic goals if my goals really aren't realistic with the market? Can he help me better define them or even come up with a better goal to be able to accomplish what I'm trying to do? Does the agent have a great team around them? Is the agent able to negotiate the best deal possible for me? So you also want to know, are they relatable and are they trustworthy? I mean, do you see yourself hanging out with them on a Friday night? Are you able to leave your home in their care while other people are in your home? Do you feel that they're going to care for your property just like you care for your property? Do they understand their profession? Do they know what they're doing? Do they have the administrative skills to keep up with the transaction? There's a lot of moving parts. There's stuff due at certain times. Are they going to be able to keep up with all of that? And what's their communication schedule? Are they going to be just listing and then you don't hear from them? Are you going to hear from them at a certain time? Are you going to be able to get a hold of them when you want to? Are the lenders, title, everybody else going to be able to get a hold of them? How are they going to work with the listing agent? You've got to be able to know how to communicate and keep up with everything to keep everything on track. So thanks for watching our free seller strategy video. I really appreciate you watching. I know we went over a lot of material really quickly. We kind of had about a 30,000 foot view, but you're more than welcome to come back, watch this video again, fast forward, rewind, whatever you got to do to digest it. You can always reach out for questions, but you might be asking yourself, hey, what's my next steps? So go ahead and schedule your free seller strategy consultation. My calendar's down below. Just pick a time that's convenient for you. Once you do that, it's going to start you through our VIP seller process. It's going to take you to our seller onboarding form. That's going to help us gather important information about your home, about you, before the meeting. That way it helps us maximize our time together. Even if you're not planning on selling your home for a while, please fill out the onboarding form anyway so we can have it on file for when you do plan to sell, and we can help you create that plan. It's important that we do have that submitted before your consultation, because we will have to reschedule any consultation that's missing a seller onboarding form. But once you submit that, it's going to take you to our marketing plan with some more details about our price, presentation, and promotion strategy. Go ahead and write down any questions that you have. We're going to go over everything at the seller consultation. But we're going to try to maximize our time as much as possible. We do also ask that if you're ready to sell your home and believe that we are the right team for you, just be ready to start the process. But when you do schedule your seller consultation, we're going to send you some free gifts. You did get a seller roadmap when you signed up. We're going to send you the ebook that actually goes over what we've gone over today. It goes into a little bit more detail, kind of includes a little bit of extra stuff. But we're going to send that to you completely free. I'm going to go through a pre-listing checklist to make sure that we're getting your home ready for sale. And while you're doing all that, we're going to be tailoring a plan specifically for you. That way you get the right price, presentation, and promotion to be able to get the best top dollar for your home. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at our consultation.